Welcome to the MBP Movie Podcast.
Today we're talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark with our special guest Emma.
Hi.
And start the show.
We need to have we should have had the theme music on.
So, Raiders of the Lost Ark, here we go.
Here we go.
Want to talk about the history first of the film? Do you know anything about the history of the film?
I didn't look.
All I know
do you know what? I didn't look either.
All I know is Tom Selleck was the original choice for...
Wasn't it?
Yeah, there's actually an episode of Magnum P.I. where he actually dresses very much like Indiana Jones as well, yeah.
Ooh,
I've
So
got
you
to
get
admit,
to see what it's like.
knowing it, watching it, I kept thinking I could really picture Tom Selleck.
Do you know
as
what? I
Indiana
could now,
Jones.
now you've said that.
And he's a big... I think he's a bigger guy as well, isn't
He is, yeah.
Yeah. I know originally as well, George Lucas didn't... It was either George Lucas or Steven Spielberg didn't want Harrison Ford because of Han Solo.
Yeah.
They just thought it wouldn't be right, but...
He is. They were definitely wrong.
Dead wrong.
Definitely wrong.
So that's all I know about the history.
Yeah,
and,
Well, basically, just a bit on the history. George Lucas told Steven Spielberg they went on a fishing trip or something. I think Star Wars were coming out and they never want to be there when it's the premiere. They just want to get away from it, so they went, and then he told him this story.
Yeah.
But Spielberg at the time wanted to make James Bond. He always wanted to make a James
Oh,
Bond.
really?
And he said, I've got his character that's better than James Bond. I'd agree.
yeah, kind of.
Oh, I don't know.
Controversial Brit, I don't like James Bond.
Oh, no, I do.
I
I
don't like
do.
James Bond at all.
I'm
I've got no
outnumbered.
interest.
Outnumbered.
So, do we want to go on to last? Do you want to go first, Emma? Just give us a
No. We're going to talk about early memories first.
Oh,
Are
sorry,
we
yeah.
talking about it? Oh, go on,
So
man.
have you got any early memories of seeing it?
Early memories of seeing it. Probably the first time I saw it, I was probably about 7 or 8. I can remember I always used to watch it at Christmas time. It were always on at Christmas or a bank holiday, something
Easter or
ridiculous.
something,
Yeah, it was always then. And I can always remember my mum and dad. This is my earliest memory saying that is where they went on their first date to go see Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
So, a bit of romance back then.
Indiana Jones is responsible for you then?
He's got a lot to answer for. But yeah, that's one of my earliest memories, and I can always remember the opening scene. I always used to, because obviously when I was younger, there were no DVDs, it was all tape, and I used to make my dad rewind it so I could watch the opening scene again, all the time.
I think we
Used to tape
definitely
it.
had it on VHS. I think my dad
Yeah.
will have taped all of them.
We always had stuff recorded though, so we never had like the proper videos, did we?
We did have some, but
Yeah, a few,
not a
like,
lot. I
Lost
think we had
Boys
the
and
Princess Bride, didn't we? On VHS?
Yeah, we did.
That's one
Yeah.
of my favourites.
Yeah, I kind of wish I still had my VHS now.
My mum's
Yeah.
actually still got one. She's got like a built-in DVD.
I've still got a player.
and video.
Yeah,
Have you seen? I mean, the actual
Yeah.
tapes themselves.
I've got
But have you
some.
sing HMV have released a range of 80s movies in VHS?
Yeah,
like case?
I have. Yeah,
Amazing.
they'll be on my
Just got
Christmas list.
Got no room for them. That's the problem.
Bit of a tangent there, folks. So have you got? And have you got your early memory just about Dad having it?
Yeah, I know it was on a lot as a kid. I actually had a massive gap with this. We're not watching it for years and years until I bought the box set. And then obviously watching it now, this is about, I don't know, when did the box set come out? I'm probably thinking it's a year, but it's probably about 3
Blu-ray
years.
box,
isn't
isn't
it?
A couple
The
of years
Blu-ray
ago, I
box
think.
set.
Probably
Yeah.
went forth and came out, wouldn't it be?
Maybe so.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
that's more than a couple of years
But
ago.
between that and that, because it was always on when it, like you said,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, but I can't. I've got a terrible memory.
See, I actually controversially as a kid didn't like it really. I used to think it was a bit boring, and I used to watch the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, the TV show.
I did.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I used to love that. But I don't know. I never liked it as a kid that much. I think watching it yesterday was the first time I watched it since I was a little kid.
Oh,
Yeah, I
and did
think
you like
so.
it?
Well, you'll find out.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we've got to leave that till the
Oh,
end.
okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
allowed to give the viewers that message yet, although I do it all the time.
Loves it. Yeah.
So we're ready to go into lights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a couple first?
What do I like about it? Indiana Jones probably is one of my favourite movie sort of leading guy in a
Characters.
film. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got everything you want. He's sexy. He's funny. He's strong. He's charming. He gets the girls. He gets the job done. Just perfect. As for the film itself, like I said, the opening scene for me, even when I was little, is just iconic. Loads of people have
Everyone
ripped it
knows
off.
that scene,
Everyone
don't
knows
they?
it. Everybody knows. Even if you've not seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, everybody knows. When the door comes down and he reaches in and gets the hat, everybody knows that. And the coat hanger scene. is just
when he.
yeah.
You think he's going to kill him?
You think he's going to kill him? You think he's going to kill him? And he takes his coat off and he gets the coat hanger and puts it on. That is just classic.
Yeah.
To me, they're my favourite bits.
Yeah, watching that yesterday, I didn't know what it was because I did not remember that scene at all. And I'm like, what the hell's he got there? What is it? And I thought it was like a little nunchuck.
Yeah, and it's a coat hanger.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
You can actually buy those coat hangers.
Can you?
You can, yeah. I was starting to have a look. You can actually
Free
buy
advertisement.
Yeah, you can actually buy them.
Going back to what you were saying about him, I've actually wrote a lot of the same things about him as a character. And I also think you can relate to him because he's not perfect and he gets it wrong.
I was just going to say...
He just kind of looks out a lot of times.
Watching it, I think he's a little bit of a screw-up. He always gets caught. It's like even, when he pretends to be a Nazi and dresses up, he gets caught then. They don't know he's not a Nazi at that point. And he always just seems to find a way out of it, doesn't he?
He blags, that's what I like. He's a bit of a blagger, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Another one of my likes is just, obviously, if you're talking about Indy, talking about Harrison Ford at the same time, aren't you? And he was just perfect casting. Yeah, when we were just talking about the guy, Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
I can sort of see him, but I can't see him
actually.
being anywhere near as good at all.
You never know, though. If you hadn't known any different, you might not have. You might have been like, I can't picture anyone but Tom Selleck playing Indiana Jones.
I'll give you one more, the music by John Williams, absolute genius.
I've got a lot to say about the music.
There is a scene I noticed that was very much like the Han Solo Leia scene.
Yeah.
There's one of those in there.
The Marion theme.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people say it sounds a bit like Superman in some parts.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
But the indie theme is just iconic.
Everybody knows that as well.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
So I got some.
Yeah, you go some. Yeah.
I liked how gory it was because I'm a big horror fan, and I actually couldn't believe the prosthetics. I thought they looked brilliant.
Fantastic.
I actually want to test because I watched it on BBC. You know the scene where Alfred Molina's character gets it. By the way, I couldn't believe Alfred Molina was in this film. I didn't even know.
You don't see him get killed.
You don't see him get killed.
No, you don't see him.
Later on, with the guy with the aeroplane blade thing, do you see him get?
You don't know. You don't see him.
Oh right, maybe once comes.
They were trying to keep it a PG, and I'll move into it. Surprisingly, it is a PG.
Wow.
I'll move into a bit of more trivia with that because
it's really gory, isn't it?
I'll move into a bit of trivia because there's a bit where at the end where all the faces are melting.
Yeah.
Well, the is he German French? The bad guy Belloc. His face explodes, so they give it an R rating. So what they did to get it away from R rating, they just put some fire in front of his face. It's like it hadn't make any difference at all, but it
managed to get it through.
Yeah,
it got it through just by putting that.
I'd like to see that without the fire actually, to see how
it's a good explosion. Yeah, it's a good explosion.
I loved when the faces melted. I think the effects in it were absolutely they were classic, weren't they?
Oh yeah,
absolute
So
classic.
it's an early 80s film.
Yeah,
I think I've brought this further down. I think the effects and stuff are so good that it still stands up.
Yeah.
And there's the bit with the car. I think that's probably the bit that looks I'll say least best because I don't think it looks bad. Where it goes off the cliff and it's the matte painting because I quite like matte painting.
Yeah.
Right, has that been edited? Because it looks CGI to me.
It might have been remastered or
it's not
something.
Lucas's like.
It might have been remastered.
You just brought up another point. It sounded to me from a video I watched that Spielberg was going to go back and edit some of this.
Right.
And there was a South Park episode where they absolutely ripped George Lucas and started having to go. Spielberg was going to redo the edits, so they got into the Lucas thing, and they had to kind of go him. Eventually, he got in touch with them with I forgot the names.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
And he basically thought it was a great episode, thought it was hilarious, and then it all disappeared. This talk about him
maybe he thought
updating it. So maybe he did. Maybe he thought that's.
Well, I'll just say two more things. Back on the the skeletons are kind of attacking Marion, but they're not. Yeah. And when the kids scream, making me laugh. It's like, where's that noise coming? That was a really good scene, like from a horror film. And then the other scene I like when he fights the guy on the plane. The big bruiser guy, I just think that's brilliant. It's funny as well.
They did that at, is it Disneyland or Universal Studios? They have like a thing there, don't they, with that? And David, he's got that on an old VHS and it's been put onto digital copy so you can see it. But there's a big special thing, and where they go to cut the blade, there's a big smoke bomb comes off, and you don't see him, it just obviously goes down. But yeah, I don't know if that's still
I just wanted to say my favourite character, John Rhys Davies, as it sounds like.
I love John Rhys Davies.
Yeah. He was absolutely brilliant in it. In my head, I thought he turned on him for some reason, but he don't, does he?
No.
Is he in any sequels?
I thought that.
Yeah, he is. He's in.
Is he in Temple of Doom?
He's in Temple of Doom. No, is he in the third
Last
one?
Crusade.
Last Crusade. Yeah.
Last Crusade.
The last Indiana Jones film.
Yeah.
do you have any more likes you want to go into? Or is...
No, that's it.
You done?
You've covered. That's
Did
what
you
I was
cover
saying.
all yours?
I just wanted to say that it was the fast pace of it. I thought were brilliant. I didn't expect it to be that fast paced because obviously as a kid, I found it a bit boring to watch. I don't know why looking back now, but it's just I don't really think I've got any problems with it whatsoever. I think it's entertaining from start. I mean, when we get to dislikes, I've got a few little minor quibbles that are probably nitpicks.
When I watched it the other night, I thought, I think Bob might finally like Indiana Jones. I think you can appreciate it a bit more as an adult.
I'm dying to watch the second one now because I can't remember it.
Absolutely.
Although in the second one said before.
Yeah, the second, the
prequel,
Temple of Doom was a prequel to.
So was it because she didn't want to come back? Why did they do a prequel? Do you know?
I don't know.
I've no idea.
We'll
go into that.
We'll go into that when we do Temple
Next
of Doom. Yeah.
So the only other things I had is that stunt where he's falling off, and this is about
this
not
like...
being perfect, and he's falling off the front, he's grabbing onto the bars. That's really funny.
That
but then that stunt where he goes underneath the truck and comes all the way back through, it's just brilliant.
That was a great scene. Oh, I'll tell you what else made me laugh. When Marion's hiding in the wicker baskets, because they take mick out like everything, don't they? And I'm like, this is where it came from.
Yeah.
It's like they're always taking mick out there.
And the only other thing I wrote is the sound effects. I think the gunshots sound great, and especially the punch sound effects in this.
And
evidently that was created from, I believe, a baseball bat in a leather jacket or something. That's aesthetic, really. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
it's kind of wrong in it when you think about it, because he goes and steals these relics, doesn't he, from the homes and takes them to this museum or whatever.
It's the British
Museum, but it's like they belong where they belong, don't they? Not.
Well, that's the whole thing. I remember Jackie Chan in an interview saying give them back basically because they belong to China. Really. And you're like watching Indiana Jones thinking, oh yeah, this is how we got them all.
I mean, I think for me the standout scene is the opening, like you said.
Yeah, it is.
It's great. They don't show his face for quite a bit, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh, that's
what
I was going to say.
Steven Spielberg introducing his characters.
There were so many cool shots of him in shadow and stuff, and like just silhouetted. I thought
the bit when he meets her at the bar and you don't see him, you can just sit and you're just looking at his shadow.
Yeah,
she looks so amazing.
Yeah.
Karen Allen is brilliant in it, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I kind of forgot how like big of a star she was in the 80s and that. So
yeah,
it's.
So, does anybody have any dislikes?
I've got a few nitpicks, not dislikes. You know, some of the green or blue screens a bit.
That's what even on 1980.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not having a go.
Yeah.
I like films with much worse special effects, and I just thought you've got to bring something to the table, haven't you?
I'm blank. I've got literally nothing.
I can't think.
I've got nothing written down.
There was something else I was going to mention. I kind of think, although I like it, I kind of think the end's a bit, almost a little bit anticlimactic because he doesn't really do what end, does he? He just shoot your eyes.
It's about the spirits.
But that's not really again,
even looking back and going in, like, he's tomb raiding basically, isn't he? Which is basically where a Tomb Raider came from, wasn't it? And that Uncharted as well. That's all Indiana Jones.
Definitely, 100%. So other than being nitpicky, I can't.
No, I can't fault it either.
I think it's a fast-paced, like, action adventure thrill ride.
Yeah, from start to finish.
Yeah.
There's no sort of. You don't get your breath. You don't get bored.
And I'm interested because I haven't seen the sequels in such a long time. I can't remember if they get bigger and better because.
I think if I remember rightly, I think the first one is probably the best. The second one I don't think is as good as the first one. I think the third one takes it back up again.
Isn't the second one kind of hated actually?
I don't like the second one.
Do you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't like Short Round, but he's the Goonies one now. Can you like Short Round?
Well,
I like it. I've forgotten the name.
She squeals a lot though,
she screams all the way through it.
The blonde lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the.
She just screams all the way through it. It's annoying.
Right.
We do watch a lot of films on it.
Just don't remember people's names.
Were you a bit shocked to see Alfred Molina or anything? She hadn't seen it for so long.
I said that earlier, yeah.
Did you?
I was really shocked because I was like, obviously, I know it's Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, so I was like, why is he in this movie? Like, is this such a small part? I was absolutely shocked. And William Hootkins as well, you know, from, I don't know if you know him that well. He's in Batman. He plays, who's he playing? Eckhart. And he's also in Superman 4, funnily enough.
Oh, right.
And he's Porkins in Star Wars.
Oh.
One of the... Never mind. We'll go back when we do Star Wars at some point. I'll bring it. You'll recognise him though. He's in loads of like films and stuff. I think he died though. Maybe about 10 years ago or something. So my little things.
No else to say on likes, dislikes?
No, don't think so.
Move on. So box office. I mean, blatantly obvious. This was a big hit. It had a budget of $18 million in America. It made $248 million just in America.
Wow.
I think it was 339 worldwide. From what I read.
Yeah, it was 389.9.
Oh, 389.
Wow.
Worldwide. It was number one for 1981. No surprise with those figures. It also made a further $150 million on home video.
Wow,
That's huge.
that
isn't it?
is huge.
I'm watching Med since on digital downloads.
Oh god,
we've
no!
got
It's
no.
just
It'll-
that's what you do, innit? You buy. I get rid of movies. I want, I'm not like these, but I get rid of movies and buy them again, or you upgrade or whatever you do. Yeah,
You go from DVD to Blu-ray.
Do you remember
Yeah,
the
it's
sequels
4K
quite
or
well
digital,
for you
isn't
then?
Vaguely, I didn't watch them that long ago,
Yeah.
but you know me.
Is that what the
So
the
do you-
Temple of Doom?
Yeah, and Last Crusade
Yeah.
and that
Crystal.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
But do you think this is the best Indiana Jones film?
No.
You don't?
No.
Right. I think I know what it's going to be, but I won't say.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll have you back on for the other Indiana
Okay.
Jones movies. So I'm just going to go into some trivia.
We're not doing Crystal Skull though, because I'm not watching that.
You know,
I know. I've
know-
seen it once. That's enough.
I quite liked it, and I didn't. We'll just go into it. I didn't understand the furore around it being the aliens when at the end of this one, there's all these spirits roaming around and
Yeah.
they're getting melted. It's like, how is that not
And like,
far-fetched?
what actually is in that crate thing? What is it?
It's meant to be like that. Isn't it meant to be like the power of God or something?
Yeah.
Because it's Noah's Ark, isn't it?
Do you not make me laugh
Basically,
actually?
the ark,
Pulls it
isn't
out and it's all sand, and that German guy can't stop laughing about it with glasses. I'm like, do you want it to be something good as
It's
well?
funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was
No,
good.
maybe he didn't like Hitler. Didn't want him to get all the
Actually, do you know something I did
Wanted to
notice?
die.
Indiana Jones doesn't say that much, really, does it? He says a bit, but he's not like really chatty. I thought he'd be more because Han Solo didn't shut up.
No,
does
but
he?
don't you think it's a lot of iconic movies like... I don't know, we can go into acting and stuff, but like Arnie with Terminator, that's one of his best roles. Maybe
And
I did
he
agree
does-
call.
Yeah, Arnold
he does
Schwarzenegger's
make-
not.
I know Harrison Ford is a
Acting
much better
wise,
actor, and
yeah.
that's no
Yeah.
disrespect to Arnie because we love him, but
Yeah,
I know what you're
love
saying.
you, Annie.
Sure he'll be watching.
Yeah.
I never know.
Listen to it in gym while he's
So you know the famous scene where the guy comes out and he's flicking his sword around
Yeah.
and
I
just
Pulls
shoots
out
him.
a gun.
That
Yeah.
was evidently going to be a big fight
Yeah, I
scene
heard
with his
about
whip,
this, yeah.
and he was ill.
Yeah,
And it sounds like a lot of the cast were ill as well. They had food poisoning.
Yeah,
and basically just
yeah.
said, "What if I
I
shoot the
can't be
sucker?"
bothered,
And Steven
yeah.
Spielberg went, "Yeah, let's just do that then."
and I think if they'd have done what they wanted to do, I reckon it probably looked a bit hokey.
Yeah. And I think they revisit that scene in one of the later films, don't they? I can't remember which one it is, but they do
yeah,
revisit
they probably do.
They do revisit it, but they do.
Also, if you freeze frame in the Wells of Soul scene, there's a golden pillar that actually has R2D2 and C3PO.
I heard about
Was
that.
it?
Now, I
Yeah.
meant to check this today, but I didn't
I've seen
get a
an
chance,
image
but
before on that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
I
that.
wanted to check. I had to.
I'm going to check that now.
Have you heard that fan? You know these fans have fan theories.
Go on.
Got this theory that Han Solo is Indiana Jones, and it's like he got transported back in time and lost his memories or something, and became Indiana Jones. I know it's stupid.
No.
It's stupid, but
No.
you know what fans are like.
I don't even like when the people who made the film go, "Oh yeah, that's correct." It's like I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Just let me have my own opinion on
Yeah,
it. Just leave it.
maybe Indiana Jones is what Han Solo dreams about being.
Yeah,
he
could be.
goes to sleep and he becomes Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
That's
and
why I
a
had
whole
to.
new film.
There you go, fan theory just created for you.
There you go.
Probably already exists.
Break the internet.
So the end scene with the spirit effects, that was all evidently shot underwater, and they did it with a
Oh,
I think it's
really?
a fuzzy lens here, which I think the main one was probably had a bit.
Do you, know,
of
do you think there's a lot? This film is quite. It delves quite heavily into horror because I think
Yeah, it
it
does.
does.
It
I
does.
think
I think so.
We said that about like Terminator, though, didn't we? Where it's not
Yeah.
seen as a horror, but there's a lot of them.
Kind of
elements
is,
in
really.
there,
That's
so-
kind of almost like a slasher film because he's going around killing people. isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. So, and I'd already told you about the R rating, so that covers my trivia. So I think that leaves us just to rate the film. We always rate them out of 10, and then just for so you know.
10. 10 for me.
10,
10
right.
because I can't find anything
Well,
I don't
I
like
wrote 9.5, but I was trying to justify why it wasn't a 10 last night, so I'm going to say 10 as well
10.
because, and I think this is
I'm going to
one
say
of-
9,
Oh.
but I never give anything a 10 because I think then you say nothing can be better than it.
No, but it can be.
Actually,
equal to it.
there's one film in existence I give a 10, but in fact I can say what I talked about Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, I was
That
going to
is a
say
10.
I
Oh,
think
love it.
this is
Yeah.
one of the greatest movies of all time, and the only one I would say is better than it is Back to the Future.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know which is
But,
better.
but at the same time,
Well,
a bit of a funny one.
you don't
'cause
have
I'm
to
on
decide
about
'cause you can watch
yeah,
both.
because I
Yeah.
always differentiate my favourites to
Yeah,
the
I
best
do as well.
because
Yeah.
this won't break my top 3 80s films. It'll probably break my top 5.
I just
now,
think
but
Yeah.
you
won't
know
break
when
my
you
top
watch a
3
film and
80s.
you think, oh, maybe I'd change that and that. I don't think there's anything in this.
No,
I'd
I don't
change.
think I'd
No.
change anything about it
No.
either.
It's really, really good, enjoyable.
Yeah, the
movie.
casting's got perfect.
And like I say, I
Everything's
think
brilliant.
yeah, perfect length for time. It were just under 2 hours, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
think. Or was it over 2 hours?
155.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just under 2 hours. I think perfect
Yeah.
length and
It is,
fast
yeah.
paced.
It is
What more do
really
you want?
fast paced, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant film.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed you two didn't bring the whip. That's you know, a girl can dream.
We were trying to get the fedora. We think our mates might have had one. Just on that, they are going to be making an Indiana Jones film next year, so look out for that next year.
Yeah.
We'll try and leave a link somewhere in the description for
Target
Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Yeah, so
Facebook Press, apparently.
I'll cut that if I can. I think that's it then. I think that
Yeah, so if you want to subscribe on iTunes to us and leave us a review, not iTunes, YouTube, I always mess this bit up. You can tweet us at MBP Movie Pod and you can email us at marshallbrushproductions@gmail.com. I think that's us, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Bye.